Okay. Record, yes. Yes. Okay. I don't have anything too much thing to say about in this short frame of lessons, about 10 lessons. I try to put them all in 8 lessons. I will tell you something about the styles today. Uh, but now you have to work. You have to work and to present something to me. So, very simple, but you have to work on it. Otherwise, it's not a theoretical lesson. It's absolutely practical, artistic, creative lesson. So, creative means you have to be creative sometimes. Okay, and you have to work on it. Okay, let's now. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you. So now I will show something. Yeah, give me a minute. Give me a minute, and I will. So can you see it?
Yes.
The big one.
Yes,
Katerina,
but
help me.
yeah, yes.
It's okay.
Yes.
And it changed.
Yes, it changed.
It changed. Okay. Now, I will try to help you a little bit in order to be less shy, and you present me next lesson something more and something better and something more professional and something more artistic. That's why I want you. Okay? So I will speak today about the styles and the forms, and I will try to approach the mystery and the magic atmosphere and mood of a stage designing of a performance. So let's try to analyze the exercise that I asked you, and the let's see the characteristic of a thriller and the magic atmosphere, like designing in the thriller theater performance. Uh, Play a crucial role in setting the mood, building tension, and guiding the audience's emotion. That's what we want and we try to do. So now, first of all, what we will do if we want to get some a mystery mood. First of all, it is low lighting level. The difference between light and dark, it is extremely big. So often the thriller performances utilize dim lighting. Dim lighting, I mean that you have to play with console and the dimmers. I hope that you remember what is dimmer. Dimmer is that machine that take our order from the console and send it to the light projectors in order to be low lighting or high lighting and all the level between them. In order to create a sense of mystery and suspense with the action on stage. Shadows and darkness are integral in these hiding shadow elements from the audience, which can heighten anxiety and anticipation. Also, the high contrast, sharp contrasts between light and dark areas on stage can create a dramatic effect. You can see now we are in the image where the lights are. If I can see better, it is parkans with very strong lights from behind on a bench with a girl there. So if I have a light in front, I will have plain lumiere, plain light in front, and we will not have any mystery. A girl on a bench reading or thinking or whatever. But now, with these strong lights, with a big contrast from behind, we have this result there. Also, there is a window where this light here pass through, and we have this effect on the floor. So this technique helps to emphasize certain character on action while keeping other areas concealed, adding to the suspense. Now, directional light. The use of specific light angles, such as uplighting from above the stage, light coming from below also, from on the floor. I hope that you remember the floor lights, or side lighting from, that's what we used to name it contra, from left or from the right side of the actor can cast shadows on actors' faces and set pieces, enhancing the unsettling atmosphere. Also, the spotlighting, focus beam of light can isolate character or object, drawing the audience's attention and creating a sense of intimacy and claustrophobia, if you like. This can be particularly effective in highlighting moments of revelation or confrontation. The movement and the flicker effect. Moving lights, the moving head, you remember, I hope, such as those simulating flash lighting, can create a sense of urgency and unpredictability. Flickering lights can mimic failing electricity or fire, adding to the tension of unpredictability, as I told you, of the scene. Also, if we use gobos and patterns to the old-fashioned projectors, profiles, PCs, parkans, and everything, if we put gobos in the front, like probably a tree or a window, as we show to the previous image right here, or right here. These can be, it is a shadow from probably this window, but we can create it with gobos in the projector. Now, or strobe lighting. That's what I just say. Short bursts of intense light can be used to disorient the audience and the mimic moments of extreme action or supernatural occurrences. This technique is often used sparingly due to its intense and sometimes disoriented effect. Another thing that we have to take advantage is timing and pacing. The timing of the light change. Okay, it is crucial in mystery and thriller performances. Slow fades with the fade we have in the on the console. Okay, faders, you remember, I remind you, it is that small buttons that go up and down and control how many light we will have on the projectors and on the stage. So slow fade on our console can be built suspense, while sudden blackouts and absolutely dark on the stage can shock the audience. The pace of these changes should match the rhythm of the performance to maintain the desired tension and suspense to the audience. Well, integration with sound. Yes, in this, if we want to create a thriller atmosphere or a suspense or a mystery or the claustrophobia emotions that are from the audience, we can collaborate with the sound and the sound designer. Well, synchronizing lighting effect with sound cues can amplify the emotional impact. For instance, a thunderclap might be paired with a sudden flash of the light, or an ominous sound might be accompanied by a gradual dimming of the lights. So if we have a thunder outside of the window of the stage designing, we can play with the button of blackout on our console in order to give that lights on the stage floor or all the stage. And especially if we have a gobbo with a thunder in one of our projector, strong projector, we can have also these lines that a thunder can create on the sky when we have a tempest, for example. That's what I have to say about the mystery and the thriller mood of the about light designing. Any question, please? Somebody?
So far, not yet.
Yes, please.
So far, we are good. I think me, I'm good. No question as yet.
No question from you. Okay. Now I will continue with the imaginative and magic mood. Well, the lighting design for an imaginative theater performance and magic mood is pivotal is in creating a sense of wonder, enchantment, and other worldliness. Think about if we have to make a performance for children, for example, and we have to narrate a fairy tale where the magic element are very crucial in a fairy tale narration, and especially for children. What are the key characteristics and what a light designer can do with projectors, with gels, with LEDs, parkans, and all the other equipment that he has on stage? This is a case that you have to light, as I told you, a children's play, but not only a children's play. Probably we have to make a play, how can I say, probably the Per Gide of Henrik Ibsen, or the dream play of Strindberg, August Strindberg. For the friends from Africa, probably you didn't know this. This is big European authors, playwrights from previous centuries. 19th and 20th century. Ibsen is from Sweden, and Strindberg is from Denmark. So they write big plays, and European theaters play them again and again. Now, what we want to do in order to have a magic affair and the magic lighting on the stage. First of all, color variety and saturation. Rich, vibrant colors are often used to evoke a sense of fantasy and magic. Saturated hues like deep purples, blues, golds, and greens can create a dreamlike atmosphere. Another thing is the soft focus and diffusion. Soft diffusion lighting helps create a magical, eternal effect. This can be achieved with frosted gels or diffusion filters, making the light appears as if it is glowing and emanating from an unknown sources. But what else? Special effect lighting to use gobos and other patterns. Gobos can project intricate patterns like stars, leaves, and abstract shapes, adding textures and visual interest to the scene. Or projection, using projection to cast moving images or animation can enhance the magical quality, creating illusions of floating objects, changing landscapes, or magical creatures, probably. Dynamic lighting changes. Smooth flow transition in lighting can create a sensation of shifting environment or passage of time, contributing to a magical narrative. Rapid change can signify magical transformation or surprises. Another thing is the accent and highlighting. Specific elements such as character, props, set pieces can be highlighted by focused beams of lighting to draw attention to their magical significance. This can be achieved using spotlights or pin spots. A sparkle and glitter effect. We can do that, like that mimic the twinkling of stars, or the sparkle of magic can enhance the whimsical quality. This can be done with a small moving light or by reflecting lights of mirrored surface. For example, I can tell you something that I did before many years, 12 and more years, when we performed Gulliver's Travels of Jonathan Swift. Well, a playwright from England, Jonathan Swift, who wrote 4 big novels about the travels of Gulliver. So we perform in a pretty big stage, and I want to make an affair that the ship of Gulliver traveling the ocean, and I want something like a light all around the environment, all around stage, like it was this surface of the sea, calm sea, not with waves and tempest and things like that. No, And well, after enough experiment, I put straight on a plate with water from above, a very strong light, and I put in the plate uh, an aluminum foil. That's the foil, very cheap, that we have in our houses to cover the foods. So the water never stay calm, and it moves a little bit, and also the aluminum in the water uh, moves very calmly, softly, and the light that fall straight from above to the aluminum send and share the light all around the stage. It was beautiful. But another effect, for example, it is if we cover a strong light also with this aluminum foil, and make some with a pin to make some holes on this with a pin. And the effect of this, it is all around the stage, and especially if we have cyclorama, to have stars from there. But it must the holes must be very small. What else? Let's go further. Well, now, soft shadows and gradients, gentle shadows and gradual changes in light intensity can create depth and dimension, adding to the immersive, fantastical environment. Another thing is the interaction with scenery and costumes. Of course, costumes and scenery must take care of about them. Also, the faces of the actors. Lighting should interact with reflective surfaces, iridescent materials, or truculent elements in the scenery and costumes to enhance the magical feel. This can make elements glow and shimmer. Another machine that we can use, and we mentioned to the previous lessons, is the fog and haze. Introducing the fog or haze, there are, as I told you, special machines that can give us haze and fog, um, um, which diffuse light beams, creating visible shaft of lighting and mystical ambience. This technique can also make lighting effect more tangible and dramatic. Blacklight effect. For example, ultraviolet lighting. It is a special lamp that give light to the white, to any white we have on ourself, or on the stage designing, on the props. For example, this ultralight, if we are in front of an ultraviolet lighting, and we smile a little bit, we can see only our teeth. Or if we wear a t-shirt absolutely white, all the other colors are black. So with this black light effect, can make certain colors and materials fluorescent, giving an otherworldly glow to specific elements. This is especially effective for revealing hidden details or creating surreal visual effect. Layer lighting also, combining multiple layer of lighting at a different intensive and angles can create a complex, rich visual landscapes. You can see here to the image. From this side we have an orange thing, and I suppose that from the other side, outside of the stage, we have something green. So we make a combination of these different layers about lighting on the stage. Mood lighting. Ambient lighting can send the overall tone of a scene, shifting between warm and cool tones to evoke different emotions and atmospheres, from cozy and enhancing the mysterious atmosphere. By carefully blending these elements, lighting designers can craft a visually stunning and emotionally engaged atmosphere that enhance the imaginative and magical qualities of the performance. You will see many times to the theaters to put an orange gel in order to have on stage an afternoon light, or a blue in order to have a night, a midnight atmosphere, or white with a little amber filter to have a morning light on the stage. Now I find a very good video, which is a little bit longer. It is about 20 minutes, but it is very useful for somebody who will get notes. And I suggest you to get a paper and a pencil and write something that the experts that you will see speaking on them and explains their techniques. It's very beautiful. It's very good and very teaching and educated video from two of the most famous light designers. Let's see it. Katerina, tell me, can you hear?
Yes. Yes, I can hear. Yeah.
Yes, you can hear the
Yes.
sound.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Look the details.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of
The angle
infinite
of the
jest.
no, I cannot hear it. Why I cannot hear
The
it?
lighting designer is using an assortment of lights to frame the stage for the audience to kind of know what's going on in the show. Giving the audience a sense
Katerina,
of where
you
they
can
are.
hear
Is
now
it daytime,
the sound
nighttime?
from
Is
the
it weather?
video.
Are we in a
Yes, I
foggy
can.
pond?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Tell the audience
Never
where
mind.
to look.
I cannot
We give
hear
them a
it, but
sense
never mind.
of mood, of atmosphere, of time of day. We help establish an
Look the
emotional
projector.
undercurrent, and we're also storytellers.
This is a moving head.
To dig deep
Natasha
into the heart
Katz
of
is
what the
very
characters are
famous
doing.
light
It's
designer
trying to dig deep into what the story that's being told is.
from New York.
So Matt,
He's just washed up on shore. Let's do the background. We'll start with the idea that it's the sky. Could one best boy light this, Ike?
Yeah. Absolutely good idea.
I must
This
say,
is
the
a
actor
moving
is the
head
most
light.
important thing on the stage.
Let's warm up the diagonal a little bit.
And look, the consoles and the
Very often
equipment
as
that
lighting
they
designers,
have.
we want to
It is
kind of bring the
very,
actor and kind of pop them out
very
from the set
advanced.
so that we have a foreground and a background, because the actor is the one that's telling the story, and then we're helping to tell that story.
Let's play with the sky a little bit. I want you to do that. What else do we have up here? We could throw a little bit of texture, like a kind of a cloudy thing. Anything you could do with that?
We've got the other best boy
Yeah,
up there.
got some templates in it.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
This is the gobos that there is automatically in the moving heads.
That it feels like reflected light hitting Sebastian. I think that's beautiful.
Exactly.
Actually, it's so beautiful.
And look the effect that we have on the stage floor.
As a dual-fold lighting designer, half sculptor, half painter. I might be in ancient days going doot, 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 and I just cut away a little of the blue, and then you see how the costume looks, and it looks a little flat, so you take out one light and then put on another one, and all of a sudden the costume and the character becomes three-dimensional. And then behind them, there might be a background, and that is when I take out my paintbrush and put a little blue behind them. You know what I'd love to see, Howell and Matt, is it going from daytime to nighttime in 20 counts?
Sure. So restore this as Q104, I guess.
Okay.
And then why don't you go back to Q100? Yeah, you got a 20 count on the next Q. Sculpting with light is really a major part of our job. Get a little more blue in there, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Especially the body. You know, the body needs to be sculpted from the side, you know, from the back. I want the audience to feel like they could,
And
they
how
could
well
hear the story
Bingle.
being told.
Bingley, of course, it
I
is
pride myself on being able
very
to light the story well.
famous light
Being able to
designer.
really have the audience focus on where the action's taking place and to be able to follow that thoroughly. Are you ready, sir? So we're going to go to dark here.
And Max, stand up.
Lights, go.
You see the position of the light design of the light projectors. You see where it is? This is the side
That is the glorious
spotlights,
pearl
and
she
it is
gave me.
moving hands.
I do feel it and see it.
Going into designing the show is, I kind of use this word called formatting. And it's a process of hours and days and weeks with the director, set designer, costume designer, kind of formatting our way through the production. We'll have a rough set model, and we'll kind of start on page 1 of the script and kind of work our way through it, you know, one scene at a time. And where is this scene going to be, and what scenery is going to be in it, what part of the stage it's going to be on, and how we transition from getting out of this scene into the fields of hay and things like that.
Could you light down one more time, because we're going to need to, and then where you comfortably are able to get up and stand. Once I'm hired, I read the script, and I read the script without thinking about the light the first time through, so that I can just get a sense of what the script means to me. And then I read it again, and I mark it up with thoughts about the lighting, but sometimes those thoughts are very simple thoughts, like what time of day is it, where does it take place, and the next step is very often meeting with the director and talking about the director's feelings about the piece, because I do believe strongly that my job is really to help the director with the director's vision.
The director is very specific about what he's going to want in this certain scene, you know, whether the scene's in a kitchen or in a basement, or how he feels about how it should be lit, whether it's just a little light coming through the window and, you know, it's a very dark and gloomy scene with just one lamp over the table. That's a chemistry to me. That kind of tells me as a designer how to layer into his vision of the scene. Good. Thank you. Good job.
One of the biggest challenges is making sure that we're able to get lights where we want them, because if we don't, we really can't make the show look good. Another challenge is that everybody else who's working on the project, the set designer, the costume designer, the choreographer, they all have done their work beforehand. So the choreographer has done the work in the rehearsal hall, the director's done the work in the rehearsal hall. When we walk into the theater, we are the only ones who sit down with a completely blank white piece of paper, a completely empty, nothing is done yet.
All the lighting equipment, the cabling, the dimmers, all the headsets. I mean, it's really down to the ironing boards. There's, I mean, everything has to go in for a production. We established a shop order, which is sent out to vendors to get a bid back, and sometimes we have to change equipment that we kind of wanted, or we have to substitute this or that. But then after that's all approved by the general managers, we start finalization of all the paperwork that's necessary for the show to go into a lighting shop.
Moving heads.
That's where the electricians take our
Archons,
paperwork and they get all the
wash.
equipment that's on the plot and they mount
Everything
it.
is
The
here.
entire package is
My God.
rented.
This is huge. That would be Jules and Peggy's world's largest mirror ball.
All right.
We've since taken the lighting designer's specifications and shop order. Now we take it from paper, turn it into life, where we give them all their gear, we lay it out, we prep it, they mark it, location, dimmer, and they put it in the box, and then they'll put it on the truck and load it into the theater floors. And what we have that no one else in the world, which we own the patent for, is how we prep our moving lights to take out human error. We'll show you how we do that. How many things are stored in here about?
More than I can say.
Millions. Call it for me, and it'll bring it down.
Color chips?
Color chips.
All right, let's see. That is...
Just finding it. Just found this.
Wow.
It's gonna go downstairs.
That is incredible.
Color chip.
Our color chips.
Okay, now
If you want, you can hold it
they
up to the
will
light and see.
show us just a little mirror that it is
Millions of choices.
in the
Incredible.
moving heads in front of the leg.
First of all,
In
we
order
go
to
to
have
ERG
all
to
this
look at
thing,
new equipment,
all
but
these
if there
results
are
that we,
things that we want
you
to do in
can
a show
see
that have
right
never
now.
been done before, a demo room is an amazing place to do that. Can you speed up and slow down the rain?
Yes.
So how about that driving rain that you have, but maybe slower? I had just been there 2 weeks before working on a ballet where we needed to see if different kinds of material, how they took light, because we were going to project some snow on 3 different surfaces. We wanted to make sure that you could see through one surface to the next surface to the next surface. So if you didn't go to the demo room and then you had all the scenery built for thousands and thousands of dollars and then found out that you actually couldn't see through each level, then you're screwed. It saves the producers a lot of money and it saves us the anxiety because we know that it's going to work. Costumes deeply affect the lighting design of a show because what I have to make sure is that I make the costumes look the color that the costume designer wants them to look. Sometimes I'll even take the fabric back with me and pick different colors based on the color of the fabric or how the fabric takes light.
Upsilon,
Just so
Delta,
that
Rho,
I
Alpha,
know that
Upsilon,
I can
Lambda,
give the
Iota, Kappa.
purity of what the costume looks like in terms of color and feel.
You know, we're always experimenting, we're exploring new layers, new elements, new types of light, new types of sound. So there is a great collaboration between all departments throughout the course of putting a show together.
I don't
Το διότι έκανα ένα χειρισμό εγώ εδώ πέρα.
I don't
Okay,
think
now,
that
now
lighting
I'm
has to
hear
be
you.
more spectacular on Broadway. I think the most important thing really is the show and the storytelling. But I guess, okay, I'll admit it. Yes, we push it a little bit and try to make it a little more spectacular.
You know how we're learning about things after the fact, too? I'm like learning about things right now.
Oh, you mean right this second?
Right this second,
You
yes.
mean about what that drop looks like? The
Yeah.
consistency of it? The blue and the blue?
Of course, all this
What else
Oh, here
are we
we go.
learning, Casey?
Well, I was just learning
Are
that I didn't know what that
for-
was, but just the color of that yellow was so pretty on it.
great,
Oh, we should go to one of
huge
these
productions
yellow cubes.
like Aladdin.
We can't forget that Aladdin is
There
a
are
fairy tale, and
hundreds of
there's a lot of
people
color
are
in the
working
scenery,
on,
and there is a lot
on all
of color in the
this.
lighting. It was all about
They
sort of
have
heightening reality into a kind of
terrific,
fantasy world. So the
equipment.
hope was to really make the audience feel like they were living in a fantasy.
And for theaters like us, it is absolutely a dream to have.
There is something about
These
the
equipment.
adrenaline of working on Broadway because money is so tight. Then you have to work quickly and fast and hard, and it's almost like working out. It's almost like playing a sport. Let's see what you think of this.
Yeah, there's
So-
romance right there.
The video stopped.
Pali, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
So you feel like that's romantic? Because
absolutely.
that's really what I was hoping, that you would find that it
Because
would be
when I move a
romantic.
little bit
So you feel
the
that way.
So
mouse,
you're going from the energy
it
and the
stopped.
hot feeling of this wildly crazy, energetic number to just this beautiful romance, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
it's also, I wanted to feel a little bit like her too, because he's
It does.
great. Okay.
He's the orange.
oh,
and she's the
listen,
pink.
listen
There
to
you go.
these
Okay,
two.
good.
Yeah.
If
No,
you
it's
can
very
understand this
often
English,
we're responding
it
so
is
much to what
absolutely a
the other
discussion
people are
that
doing
a
that
stage director,
I
a
forget
theater
myself
director can
sometimes.
do with a light
Because
designer.
there's so many
What
people that
he
are in the room that you
discuss
want
with
to
him,
make
what
sure that as a lighting designer
details
that
they
they're
say to
all
each
being
other
taken care
in
of.
order to
The
get
set looks
the
good, the costumes
results
look good,
that they want.
the dance looks good, but sometimes we just have to let ourselves go and go with our heart and gut and emotion. I'd love to look at the buildings lit up,
Okay, sure.
and then
We can do that.
if you do that, that'd be great.
Can you bring up the ground roll lights, please?
I think of myself as a chameleon in many ways. I do believe that my job is to respond to the rest of the collaborative team. So I think as the years have gone on, there might be something that I do that makes me Natasha Katz. I don't know what those words would be, and I don't even know how to look back and think about what my style is, because I believe my style is the style of a chameleon and working with other people. And go to Q Next. Oh, but that's kind of pretty. And go to Q Next. I was not born with the dream of wanting to be a lighting designer. I was born with the dream of wanting to work in the theater. I was definitely born with the dream of wanting to work on Broadway, and I was definitely born with the dream of wanting to work on musicals and plays. So when I went to Oberlin College, I worked in all sorts of backstage in the theater, and then I got a full semester's credit to work with somebody in New York City. So I worked with a lighting designer because I just started to do a little bit of lighting in college, and it started to appeal to me. And I worked on a show called I Remember Mama at the Majestic Theater right across the street from here. And the minute I walked into the theater and walked through the stage door, I was hooked. Go. And go to Q Next. It was really on-the-job training for me. Go to Q Next. Go to Q Next. I had met so many people working on the show that a lot of people asked me to work with them. So I just continued to work and work and work. I was 25 years old.
Okay, Hamilton. I
grew
have
up in North
I
Carolina.
have shown
and,
you
at a young
some
age, I began
scenes
working
from
at the
Hamilton
Roadhouse, where all the
when
road shows
we
would come in.
spoke about the
I took a
stage
big
designing,
interest
about
in
the
just watching how
turntable
all
and
the
the
lighting
revolver scene.
packages came off the trucks and were set up in the theater. And just as a young kid, I was like 10, 11 years old, and this was very fascinating to me, how this lighting package could just come off a truck and get set up, and then the performers would come in that afternoon and a show
Look
that
what is
night.
happening on the stage,
We took it
above
all
the
down,
stage.
packed
My
it on the
God!
truck, and they left, and we were back to bare theaters. I've been told that people say that Howell Binkley has a signature in his lighting. The more I'm thinking about it, I think I do kind of light things that have a Binkley signature to it. I kind of use a high side angle that I find myself using in a lot of shows, and it's a sculpting technique which works very well for me. You see how this changes colors too? Go.
Hamilton A, B, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hamilton A, B, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3.
It's a simple set, you know, and here we have a whole entire show done on this one set. It's not like a lot of drops flying in and out, you know, it's just one area. And my job in this show is really to dissect this whole show, to really frame it in a way that there's many locations throughout the course of the 50 songs that are in the show.
And now you see the revolving stage that
Each song
turns.
kind of has a new location, a new time of day, a different feel, whether it's this song is a memory song from the actor to convey to the audience what's going on during the lyrics of the song. In our transfer from off-Broadway up to Broadway for Hamilton, the major change that I had to do was that off-Broadway, the ceiling from the stage floor to the grid was only like 16 feet. And moving to Broadway, we had 28 feet. And so that meant that I had to change lighting fixtures. We had to incorporate some fixtures into the move that weren't really a theatrical lighting fixture. They were more kind of a rock and roll light that I knew that would kind of like the only source that was going to work for the show. I think the success of the show is just from how different the show actually is. It's a historical show, and it's really you know, depicting our history. And I just think the technique of the show is quite different, and it was just generating a new type of theater. It's introducing that to the audiences.
You keep going through some tempos.
The technology has changed lighting over the last 20 years incredibly. A lot of the old conventional units were a fixed unit. It would just, you hung it and it focused, and it really had one job. You know, it would take, you know, 100 fixed lights to do what one automated lighting fixture can do now.
A huge change was moving lights, where you don't have to get up on a ladder to focus the light. We call them moving light programmers, and we say to them, I'd like a blue light on that piece of scenery, and it's done remotely through a computer. In the old days, when I started, you had to roll a ladder out, you had to go to the light, you had to move the light, you had to put a gel in the light. If you wanted a new color, you had to get the ladder out, roll it out, go back up the ladder, change the color of the light, which would take time in the middle of rehearsal and time in the morning. And now we don't have to do that anymore because we have these lights that are remote controlled. That's an enormous change in our business.
I'm going to just bring it where we were to the front house. So let's just go back where we were on stage.
The short version of the history of lighting design is that the greatest lighting designer, I guess, is nature, Mother Nature, or whoever you want to call it, because it was all done in the outside by sunlight, and then it was all done by firelight. And then as we started to move indoors after Shakespeare's time, then we were able to start to control the light. On Broadway, when it started, there was no credit for a lighting designer. The set designer did it with the electrician. As the years went on, it became its own profession. And for many years, actually, it was a profession that was really sort of dominated by women. There was somebody called Jean Rosenthal who really changed lighting in the sense that she figured out a way to do paperwork so that lighting could be repeated over and over again, because how do you record lighting? So Jean Rosenthal is sort of the grandmother of us all.
I don't want the audiences to feel like it's just a light show. It's a juggling act to balance between the knowledge of the mechanics
We
and
are
the
passed from
creativity as
Aladdin
well.
to Hamilton and from Hamilton to Aladdin.
Art has to drive the technical. We have to use all this technology as tools for what our vision is. Stand inside of that light and make it feel like the rain is pouring against you. Yeah, and I liked what you did when you did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So the rain is, it is torrentially pouring against you.
Okay.
And when it flashes, you're worried that you better get inside.
Okay.
Or you could die.
Okay.
Okay.
You see how the light designer collaborates with the actors. That's why I told you that a light designer is an artist.
Okay,
He's
and
not
go for
only a
it. Start
technician.
running.
He has to know all the technical
Now move forward
details
and go stage
and
right a little
equipment
bit.
and everything.
You're going against the
But
wind.
he's
It
an
pushes you
artist.
back stage
And he
left. Oh my
collaborates with
God.
the
But your
actor because
daughter
the
is waiting
actor
for you. But the
must
wind pushes you
collaborate
back
with the
away from
lights.
her. So far back stage left. You're never going to see her again. You're never going to see her. Now go get her. Get her. Get her stage right. Go, go, go. Nice.
Fantastic.
Okay. Questions, please. Is there anything or you understand and you learn everything?
I have a question to ask Mr. NIKOLAS.
Yes, yes, John. Yes.
Yeah, earlier a little bit before the video, there was the lighting projections of the magic light, whereby you find that artificial lights are put on stage.
Yes.
Doesn't that conflict with the stage design?
Conflict? No.
Yeah, somehow can't it wouldn't it be there a conflict between the stage designing and that lighting, or they have to work? Oh, they have to work together to make it work.
They have, of course, they have to work together and all together, and the costume designer and the stage director and everybody must collaborate together. Each one of them, they must know what the other have in their minds, in their imagination, and what they propose for a specific performance. Of course, they have to collaborate and not to conflict. Okay. Why are you asking about that? I think that it's obvious. You have seen to your career these two to fight. Yes, it happens sometimes.
Yes, the reason why I asked that, it's when I was looking at the demonstrations of the artificial lights being put on stage.
Yes.
In the magic lighting.
Yeah.
So I somehow I asked myself, how would this be done if it doesn't conflict with the stage design, so that we can have a better light, better lighting, yes, to give in the clear, I mean, a good mood of the scene. That's why I had that in my mind. It was just running up in my mind, and I felt I should ask.
Well, after I think that you probably know that after the 2, 3, 4 rehearsals, all these people is a family. So in a family, there is love, but many times there are conflicts. Okay, but finally they find a way in order to have a good result, as good as they can. And that's all. Yes, they have to collaborate.
Yeah, sure, they have to. They have to.
Yeah. Look, it is not like a stage designer, for example, if they make a decoration somewhere, who will not have need for others, like a stage theater stage director or a costume designer and everything. They can he can make his own installation, but this is something that is not theater. It is in a place that it is an installation, that's all. Any other question?
I have
Yes.
one question.
Excuse me, why are you writing 97482? What
Oh
kind of
my-
number of
Oh my God, I didn't
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't see
look
it.
at
I
her.
don't know. I don't know because maybe I had some problems. My Windows was updating and it switched on, and when I started again, I don't
Okay,
know
if you
what
if
was
you
going
if you make if
Yeah,
you
of
make
course.
right click, you will write your
Yes.
Milica Georgievich. Okay.
Yes, 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 of course.
Okay.
I didn't see it really.
Never mind. Okay. What's your question?
I wanted to ask, maybe you can also answer from your experience, if you had such experience. What's going on when during the performance in the theater, some lights, for example, spotlights or some other equipment crash, stop to work? What's going on there? Is there some compromise, or how to deal with it?
Well, look. Well, it depends. If a bulb in a projector, in a light projector, burn, we cannot do anything. That place that this projector lights will be dark. But anyway, there are some other things. It's not a big deal. It happens many times, and the technicians must put, instead of the burning bulb, a new one. Okay, but it happens many times because we in the theater work with the three-phase of electricity, not the one that we have in our houses, but three phases. This means that we share all the loads, all the electric loads to these three phases. It happens sometimes the fuse from the one phase to burn. So we have many of the projectors turn off. But show must go on. And we continue, of course, somehow. And but it happens. Many times. I don't know if I mention to other 2 years before, when we performed Orlando of Virginia Woolf, we have a video projection, 12 cues of video projection, and even we try before and everything is okay. When we start the performance, the projector or the computer on the control doesn't send the image. We have the sound, but we don't have the image. Well, it was from in the start of the performance. I play on stage that time and I stop the performance, and we fixed the problem because it was impossible to go further without the video. And we fix the problem and we start again. It is a vivant thing. The theater is a vivant thing. Well, it happens many things, many times, many accidents. But anyway, we fix it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if somebody else wants to ask something else or to comment any something else, I'm here. If not, I want to insist that you have to work.
Hello.
Hello, who is this? Hello, Albert. What do you want to ask? Come on.
Yes. Good evening from Uganda.
Good evening, Albert.
Yeah. First and foremost, on your email, sorry to take you back, I had asked where to post the work, but I don't think you saw my question about that, like the work, the assignment you had given us before.
When you sent it? Sorry.
No, I sent it today. I just sent it on email, photos.
Today?
Yes.
To my email?
Yes, the email you sent, the link or the link that we're using.
Oh, okay. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. I will see what is happening there. Okay. I saw Natalia's. The eighth line from Ivana Volt, it says that it missed the lesson. Ben Passy, see you. No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything from you, Albert.
I think
when you send it to EU projects.
No, the very email is like I replied the email that you sent the link on for today.
Yeah.
Then I sent on to that email.
I didn't find anything. Let's see again.
Okay.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Oh, Zoom. No, I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything.
Maybe the spam.
Maybe the spam, probably. Misolito. Just a moment. I want to see in the spam. Spam. Junk. No. Trash. No. No.
Okay.
Oh no. Send it again, please. Send it again.
Okay. I'll do that. But let me first go to the question that from the video.
Yeah.
I see these lighting designers from the expert lighting designers from the word go. It's like they know a particular light that they want to use for the set. In that they go to this warehouse and pick these particular lights that will do exactly what they have in their mind. But a country like in Uganda, you have limited lights of where you must only work with those. So you don't have that flexibility to choose a particular light to do a specific role that you want it to do. So in our environment, it's even if you have something in mind how it should look spectacular, you may not have the equipment to do that or the flexibility to do that. But also, I saw they have like this a demonstration room for the light where they try out. different lights and to see how the shapes and the lighting comes on, and on the different shades of materials.
Yes.
So here, the technical, what we call the technical rehearsal, maybe if you've hired the theater as a producer, you're only given probably that one day to just have a technical rehearsal. So also the room for that to happen is not there where you first go and try out the lights in this experimental box to see how they do. But it's like you hired the lights maybe, and that very day they were given you one day or a few hours to do the technical rehearsal. So you have to try out everything in there to see what works and what doesn't work. So it's like you work with what's there. It's not that the choice you have as a light designer is fulfilled. So in our situation, you find yourself limited in that kind of way. You might have all these ideas and you know how they can come, but also not being exposed to this technology and other lights that can do this. You only simply work with the power cans, the robotics that you have, and yeah. So it becomes a bit difficult to make an achievement of the exact show how you want it to be to come out.
Yeah. Well, if I understand well what you analyze, what you ask, well, we made our job, we made our creativity, we made our dreams, our vision with what we have, and probably we don't have anything. So we buy some candles and we put on the stage in order to have some lighting. And sometimes it is better. Well, what do you think? What you show in the videos that I have show you many times? It is from the best theaters, is the most rich theaters. It is from the capitals of the theaters, like New York, like London, like Paris, and everything. Also, we have a professional theater here in Athens. We don't have all this equipment. We don't have this equipment. Yes, I wish to have this equipment, and also I wish to have these theaters. And also, I wish to have this audience, of course, all these crowdy people that wait outside of the theater to see the performance. And of course, I will make performances that it's not like this, because I'm not interested to make Aladdin. I'm interested to make other repertoire theater, but anyway, but we don't have this equipment. We have probably, you probably have less less equipment and old technology, but also we don't have. So you have to make your work with the equipments that you have. Is that
Okay.
what you ask or comment?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that's what I was commenting about. That
Yes,
you have
indeed.
this idea.
Last
You have
year,
this idea, and you know exactly how it can come out.
yeah,
But due to the either limited equipment, or there's some theaters that do have these. Maybe you find they have like 6 robotics, and that's what's there. And their stage or the black box is kind of fixed, so there's no much flexibility, and you have to work maybe with what they have in that theater.
yeah,
And that, to you as a lighting designer, you feel like, okay, it's limited. I could have done this. I could have done this. Or you at times you're forced to change the lighting script somehow to try and fit what they have, but not what you plan to do or for the particular production.
yeah.
Then I wanted to ask, there was a light, I don't know what kind of project that I was giving effects on the background in the video.
On there?
Yeah.
Where on the video?
So in the video, there was a particular light that was on the background. It was like a screen.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, was that a video projection, or it was a light projection that was almost above it?
Yeah. Well, if we have a cyclorama, for example, or a backdrop, a white backdrop, and we have a video projection on that backdrop, we avoid to light it with light projectors, because we will erase what the video sent to the backdrop, to the screen. So we prefer to put from the screen to the stage some lights, or side lights, left and right, but not straight on the screen. Okay, do I understand well? Do I answer to you?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Well, indeed, last year in Uganda, when we were in that National Theatre, I think that it was, there is no good or new equipment. But anyway, they make the performance. Yes, the light designer and everybody in the theater, we made our jobs with the equipment and the budget that we have.
Okay.
That's all. Okay. Once again, I want to close this section saying work. I don't, yeah, Katerina, you're laughing, but it's not a joke. Okay.
I know,
It's,
yes.
yes, you know, but you don't work. Okay. I want to clarify that I will not give the certification in the end of the lesson if you don't submit me some work in order to understand that you hear and you understand what we say to all these lessons, and you can use some of them anyway.
I have
You
a
don't
question
smile now.
so the task that we had to do is on the previous lesson.
Yes, the previous lesson this time. I had I wanted to give you another exercise now in order to make something, but you didn't make the previous. The previous was very elementary. Now I wanted to ask you to make something not mystery but fantastic. But you have to make something as a stage designer first, some things, and not what Natalia made, just a thing and lighting. Okay, this can be done from anybody. No, you have some knowledge now, and you see so many things all these 2 months. Okay, use it. Go to the YouTube and see it again. Work, but don't stay and sit to your chairs and you are waiting everything from me to say and again and the new things and everything. You have to do things. Okay, I want to say something to you, Dragana, Mrs. Mitrovic. You sent me something with about light designing with animals. Okay, Dragana, can you hear me?
She's writing to the chat.
She's
Mrs.
writing to the
Dragana.
chat.
Yes.
Writing to chat.
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, yes,
Okay,
hello.
Dragana. Okay,
Hello.
okay. Okay. So you sent me something with some kind of animals, small animals, and your smartphone lighting torch on them. Just 5 minutes after we finish the previous lesson. Is it so? Did you do that? You remember?
Yes, that was a homework. That was my homework, fresh.
No, you have to work a little bit harder. You have to imagine, you have to work, you have to think, and not to send me the your idea exactly immediately after we finish the lesson. It's not so easy. So think, work a little bit more, and I'm very sure that you will have better results. Okay?
Excuse me,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Nicholas.
Yes, John, please.
Yeah, since this is my first appearance for for the lighting design, I don't know where you placed the exercise. Is it is it separate or it's with the links that you
No.
sent
I
me?
just asked it. It was to make on a surface to put some things from your house and to light it with a very small, very simple torch, electric battery torch on this, and to experiment about this on this, and to send me a small, some seconds video of what you sent, or a photo. Okay. But what I asked from you, it was to make a mystery mood on this simple elementary states designing.
Okay.
Yes, Katerina.
Can we do with the professional lights if we have this
Yes.
opportunity? Okay.
Yes, of course you can with a professional light, but the professional light is 500 watt or 1000 watt something. Where will you put a projector like this? In a theater, probably. Yes, if you want, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
I
because,
wish to.
because I have a black studio with professional lights in my university, so I can do it with that.
Oh, beautiful. Then do that. Well,
Okay.
you are not innocent about that. You are guilty that you don't make anything. If you are to the university and you have studio and you have professional lighting and everything. So what are you? Oh, I'm angry now.
I didn't have time because we are preparing a show, so that's why I didn't have time to watch the
Okay,
video.
you're preparing a show, so you're preparing also together in parallel the exercise that I asked from you.
I will do it for until the next exercise.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is a promise.
Okay. Yes, I promise.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Innocent. Yes.
Innocent. Hi, everyone. So I have two questions. As Kennedy, I'm new to the class. I was wondering, are there any notes of the previous classes?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, I don't get emails.
What do you? Yeah, I send emails with all the YouTube to all of you.
No, I never get emails.
You never get emails?
No. Maybe you don't have my email. I can send it to you.
Excuse me. Where did you find the link in order to go online right now? Did you get my reminder today?
No, I did not.
No, you don't. Just a moment, please. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. Okay. The others. You can leave the others in order to see what's happening with Innocent email. I stop the recording right now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. I see you next Monday. Next Monday for stage designing and next Thursday for light designing. Bye bye.